Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tronage, and today we're going to be talking about FPV Crate for December 2020. It's the last box of the season. Are you excited as I am to see what's inside this box? Then you're gonna have to stick around. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever holiday you happen to celebrate. You know, it's the season of holidays and everyone has their own that they may celebrate. And I hope that you are celebrating with your family, your friends. I hope everyone in your family has been safe. This has been a crazy, crazy year. And we are wrapping it up being December, and this was a year to remember, or I think most people want to maybe try to forget it. We are moving forward, and today we have the FPV Crate for December. Now, typically and historically, these boxes for December have usually been a little bit above average, just because it's like that whole holiday gift giving season. And both for Quadbox and FPV Crate, this has been the case. So I'm hoping to see if those traditions follow suit and we have a pretty darn good box today for this holiday season. So here's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to bring you all up in close. We're going to do the unboxing live and in person, go through the items, let you know what I see and what I think. Then we're going to be doing a cost analysis to really go over what's included in the box, what did you get, and how much is it worth type of thing. And then we'll talk about these items and give you my thoughts. But before we do any of that, make sure you slam that subscribe button. While you're at it, hit that bell icon. Makes finding my videos a whole heck of a lot easier. It helps support the channel and it keeps you in the know when I post content such as this. So if you like what you see, make sure you go and do that. And while you're at it, hit that like icon too. All right, guys, come on in. Let's get this open. FPV Crate, Holiday Magic. All right, guys, we got the December box here. Let's dig in. We give it the little flipperoo. We cut this velvety seal, which I already know is going to be so luscious. Oh, I love cutting those seals. Thank you so much, guys, for continuing to use these stickers. I'm sure they got to be expensive, but it is just such a pleasure to cut those open. All right, we're going to do that little flipperoo, and then we're going to say, are you ready? I am. Let's do it. Wow. Wowie, wowie. All right, so we got our little spoiler alert. Let's just take that out of the way for a moment. All right, we have our sticker sheet, and this is hysterical. We got Drone Alone, kind of like playing off Home Alone. We have that old gag of you wrap a product like so tightly that it's clearly you know what it is, even though it's gift wrapped. And I hope it's an FPV drone, which clearly it's not a drone, it's a bicycle. And then we got some FPV Santas here with some props in the beard. That's freaking insane, awesome, loving it. Loving that sticker sheet. Moving on, we got some packing material here. A lot of packing material, actually. So let's move that out of the way. We now have some props here with some HQ props. Let's see what we have. They are the HQ props 5.1 by 2.5 by 3s. They are in gray here if you want to see your little tagaroo. There you go. Very cool, and I'm always excited to get some props. We always need props. It's one of the few items in our, well, not few items, but basically it's one of our consumables, and it's awesome to get some nice props, especially by HQ brand. Wait. Hold on. Let's slow down for a moment. What's going on, guys? This is Tronage from the future, and those props that you see me about to just keep on moving past, we got to slow down a little bit because it wasn't until I actually finished the video, edited the video, and uploaded the video that one of my viewers was kind enough to point out that there's something very special about those props. So let's take a close look at those right here. So here's the pack of props you just saw me take out of that box, but let's take a closer look at one of these props, and specifically the mounting hole pattern. Do you see that? That's kind of awkward for a 5-inch quad. So for comparison, let's take a look. This is a pack of HQ props I had laying around. It's the ones that came out of the quad box for December. That video will be coming shortly, and when it is available, it'll be right up there in the corner. But let's take a look. See, it's just a regular hole. One single hole. That's what we're used to in 5-inch quads. Now, the 3-hole pattern is not something foreign. It's just something that's usually on smaller quads, like this little Hive 16 build I got going here. With these little, I think they're like 2-inch or 3-inch props on here, and you can see, take a look, it has that very similar hole pattern. In fact, not just similar, but exact. See? It's the exact same hole pattern. So this hole pattern is primarily for motors that are too small to have a real center shaft that can be a 5mm center shaft that you can put a nut down on. So instead, to compensate for that, to be able to anchor your props on, it has a little center pin, which I believe these are 1.5mm, and this is a T-mount style where the 2 bolts go directly into the motor bell to anchor the prop down. So you can see the size of these motors is very tiny. For comparison, here's my TBB, my Tronage budget build, 5-inch quad, and here's my little Hive 16. You can see size-wise, there's a big difference, and obviously, same in motor size. There is a big, vast difference in the size of these motors. So that is where the confusion lay, because I don't know, this is like the aisle of misfit toys. I don't know what to do with this prop, because it's got a mounting hole pattern that would be for something small, like a 3-inch quad, because 3-inch motors would have that style a hole pattern, but it's a 5-inch prop, so it's supposed to be used on a 5-inch quad. So I don't know what to do with this, nor do I know what to make out of on this. So if you got any ideas, please comment down below. But I will tell you that if you're traditionally looking for a prop that looks like this with the one nut on the top, then this prop is pretty much garbage to you. You cannot use it on those type of builds. This is primarily for a build that uses a smaller motor that I guess is like basically the guts of a 3-inch, but spinning low-pitched 5-inch props, which I think is a very specialized build. And I'm awfully confused why this was included in the FPV crate. So anyway, let's get back to the rest of the unboxing. Let's go over here now. We have a Lumineer. It looks like to be an Axie stubby little antenna, which is pretty cool. Nonetheless, there is no tagging on it or anything, but I am pretty sure this is an Axie antenna. And then we have a Xylo Stax at 5.8 gigahertz FPV video transmitter, 25 to 800 milliwatt. Pretty sweet. It has the MMCX connector on it. So if you want to see the informations on that, there you go. And let's open this up real quick. Take a little peek at the board and the goodies in here, since it's easy to get to. So, whoops. So basically it comes with some screws and some nuts. That's about it. It comes with a little pigtail with your MMCX on this end and your SMA connector on that end. And then here is the board. Here is the top. And then here is your bottom. Pretty sweet, ain't gonna lie. It also looks like it's got some coating of that conformal coating on there to maybe help with waterproofing. It's that, if you look carefully, it's got like a shine to it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a shiny coating that seems to be like on the middle area. That's usually like a conformal coating that kind of waterproofs everything so it doesn't short out. I don't think it's gonna really waterproof. It's probably water resistant, but don't take my word for it. I'm just kind of guessing on that. And then lastly, we have a Caddx camera. Let's see what we got here. We got the Caddx Ratel 2 FPV camera. Pretty sweet. I love Caddx brand. Here's your information about that if you want to know exactly what we got going on in here. Freaking cool. So we got the Caddx camera. We got an FPV transmitter, and we got an antenna. So basically what we got here is your full-on video signal. Camera, transmitter, antenna, everything you need for a drone. Then we got 3 sets of props and a sticker sheet. All right, let's run some numbers and see what we come out with. All right, I got the numbers ready to go, but before I put them up, I do want to address one question that I saw come up that I was kind of a little confused about myself. So I was getting these questions about if I would be unboxing any of the FPV Crate Premium boxes. And I want to help clarify, there is no difference. The actual contents of the box, the props, the gear, the parts, whatever's inside the box is identical each month from premium and non-premium boxes. They're identical, so it doesn't matter. The unboxing experience would be the same. The difference between a premium subscription and a non-premium subscription is you get a code for Get FPV website to have their Get FPV Select service, which I think is like free shipping on all orders. I don't know the exact details, but essentially you're getting the FPV Crate plus that. So you can go check out that information if you want. But as far as the stuff in the box, that is the same. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at this cost analysis, and you'll see this is a pretty decent box. So let's go through these line by line and talk about them. First up, we have these HQ props, and for me, these are almost a little bit of a question mark, and the reason is because of the pitch. They're a 5.1 2.5 inch pitch prop. That's a 5125, which is really low. Like, to put it into perspective, the peanut butter and jelly ethics props, which are 5130s in my opinion, I haven't flown them yet, but I thought, all right, this is already kind of a low pitch. Granted, these are probably geared towards more of a 6X flyer, and I'm a 4S flyer currently. Maybe I'll make the switch at some point, but they're designed to be a little bit larger prop with less of a pitch so that you spin it faster, and it will give different flight characteristics. But at 5130, I thought, wow, that's pretty low pitch. These are even lower pitch. These are a 5125, and I actually had a lot of difficulty trying to find them, and in fact I couldn't find them. So I don't know if these are some leftovers I had. I don't know if these are brand new coming out and they're not available yet, but I couldn't find them, so I just used the generic HQ branded prop price for the cost analysis. But I'm very curious about these being, especially being a 4S pilot. Is this going to be applicable to me, and what kind of performance can I expect to get out of these? So I'm intrigued about it, but I'm also, it's a kind of a hesitant question mark on it. All right, and next up we have the Lumineer antenna. This is actually an Axie 2 stubby antenna, which is pretty sweet that they've included the antenna, especially since they're going with a theme here of their whole video, you know, chain, if you will, from camera to transmitter to antenna, you know, type of thing. The only issue I do have is that it is a stubby. Now, some people are all about stubby antennas. However, I don't like stubby antennas because I feel like they are too close to all the carbon fiber in the quad. Yes, it keeps them protected. Yes, it keeps them from damage. But I personally like my antenna to be a little bit away from all that stuff, because depending on the angle, you can really lose your signal, because if the body or an arm or something is kind of in between you and the antenna, you won't have good reception. Being a stubby, being so close, it's a higher likelihood that it'll get blocked or be the wrong orientation or just, you know, whatever, versus being out on a, you know, a wire, a stick, if you will, which is the connector, so that it has a little bit of distance away from the quad. But at the same token, then that opens it up for damage, either when the wire itself breaking or it being banged around or whatever the case is. So it's a give and a take. Personally, I like them not stubby, but some people love stubbies and swear by them. So either way, it's still a great antenna. It's the Lumineer Axie 2. Next up, we have this Caddx camera. I love Caddx brand. They are I love them. You know, they're a really good brand. In fact, they're the brand that I originally discovered when I was pricing out my Tronage budget build. If you've missed that, it's a very comprehensive video. You can check the link over there. It's basically just start to finish how to build a quad, and you know, it's cheap. You know, it's relatively like from 99 to like 100 and something, $120 with a couple of upgrades that I put on there. I mean, the prices I'm sure have changed since I've recorded that video, but it's still good and good educational how to put things together. That being said, this is a Starlight camera. It's basically designed for more of a low light scenarios, more for dusk flying. I mean, it's not like a night vision camera by any means, but it's designed for lower light situations so that you can kind of see what's going on. Maybe like parking garages, maybe some indoor bandos, whatever the case is. So if that's the type of flying you're into, then this will be definitely the camera for you. If you're into, you know, bright, sunny, light, you know, flying, this might not be perfectly suited because it's more designed for boosting up those low light scenarios so that you can see what's going on. Personally, that's kind of when I like to fly, is sort of like that low light stuff, because I don't know, I just kind of like it. So this camera will work perfectly for some of the builds that I have in mind. And lastly, we have the Xylo video transmitter, which is pretty sweet. It uses the MMCX connector, which I'm very pleased with. I'm very happy to see a lot of these video transmitters now using the MMCX connector. A few still are using that IPEX or U.FL connector, but a lot of them have sort of figured out ways to secure it down, but I prefer the MMCX connector. It's nice that it also does come with the pigtail so that you can have your SMA connector and you can attach your Axi 2 if you wish to it. What's also nice is the pigtail is the type that has the two little screw holes, because it lets you actually anchor that SMA connector onto something, whether it be 3D printed or whatever, instead of it just being where it's like a nut that's kind of squeezing it. Because let's face it, if you make a 3D printed part that you're putting this mount on and you're just holding it with just like pressure by squeezing a nut down, it kind of can squeeze. It doesn't work out well. This type with the two screw holes really anchors it in and lets you screw on your antenna, because if your antenna comes loose, it's a bad thing, especially for your VTX. If that antenna comes loose, you may even burn it out, because it's trying to transmit, it's reflecting back because there's there's no antenna for it to broadcast on, and you can overheat and burn out your VTX. So you want to make sure everything on your antenna is connected and make sure it's happy. That's what I'm trying to say here. So now overall, now when we come down here to the bottom, you see that this is a decent box. Now I'm not going to say this is an oh my god, Christmas, hallelujah, Christmas miracle has happened, we got an insane box. This is what I would call just your average, everyday good box, because I have my baseline for what a good box is basically 25% or $20 over the cost of the box, whichever one comes first. And here we're at about $23, and we're at around 28%. So we're a little tiny bit over 25%, and we're a little tiny bit over the $20. So it's like a little tiny bit over an above average box. Now, quite frankly, don't get me wrong, I'd much rather get a box that's a little bit above average than a crappy box. Don't get me wrong. However, it would have been nice if there was something special for December, because this box could have happened on any day, any time of the year. There's nothing about it that screams, you know, Christmas, bonus, end of year, hurrah, other than the fact that it had a sticker sheet with Santa Claus on it. You know what I'm trying to say? So hopefully we're going to be doing the quad box unboxing. I have received it. It's going through its quarantine process, and once that's done with its quarantining, we will be unboxing it and we'll be comparing it, because this is the last month. This is the last box for 2020. So we will be comparing that to the FPV crate, see who really ultimately came out on top for the year of 2020 as well overall, and we will be doing that shortly. So if you decide you do want to subscribe to the FPV crate, please, I beg you, go down into the description. There will be affiliate links down there. They don't cost you a single cent extra. However, it greatly does help support this channel and allows me to bring you this content. And I appreciate your help. And please, you know, for the holiday season, use those affiliate links. It means the world to me. All right, guys. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and I will see you again in the next one. As always, my name's Tronage. Fly strong.